start somewhere.
Exactly, I'll be an apple.
Just by being harmless is a way to start.
Yeah, and then I can work my way up to a drifting apple.
Exactly, being a drifting
harmless,
apple.
a harmless
A harmless
fruit.
drifter or whatever. Or a drifting
I don't know
harm.
about a harmless fruit, but
I don't either.
that wouldn't fill out.
That wouldn't work. So here you are now. Dave Matthews Band has been in existence, I should know this more than anybody. How many years?
Almost 13. I don't count very well, but I think we're about at 13.
The idea of all this success, the joy of music and finding that you can do it and that people want to hear you. Tell me what that means.
Oh, I'm not sure I can come up with a good answer, but I'll try and divert attention. And but I think that I'm not sure where exactly I'm headed, but if I can try and focus on what's ahead a little bit and not so much on my achievements. So, I mean, sure, the things that I've done have given me a confidence that I don't think I would have been able to make this album if I hadn't spent all the years with the guys from the band traveling and pushing and managing to get ourselves over in spite of a lot of things, you know, as I suppose is the case with most people. So that a sense that I can sing well enough to make money at it is builds a certain amount of confidence. But
that you can come back every day.
Yeah.
And that you can continue to grow.
And trying to remain...
And try and experiment and...
Try and remain honest and somewhat faithful to it. My mother said when I was young that, you know, because I was always saying, well, who am I to think that people should or would want to listen to my music? Who am I to write and create things that, where's that arrogance? Or what right do I have to have the arrogance? And then my mom said, maybe your want to do it is just, that's enough. So that, then now if you have any obligation, it's to doing it. If you don't do it, then you're, you know, sort of, then you're being arrogant. You should go the way that your heart tells you to go, and not be so arrogant to think that you know better. You know.
I mean, everybody says this, and I've witnessed it. I mean, you have maintained the sense of what you just expressed. I mean, for all of this, you've remained true to the music, number one. Even when you have diverted to try something else, you come back to where the soul of the music is. Yeah. I mean, you've been willing to go out and try different things at the same time.
Yeah, I think
with a certain humility.
Yeah, well, I'm very afraid of the idea of losing a connection to what's real, whether or not it is.
Yeah, right.
You know, the idea of going off and living in a wonderland and sort of indulging because there's a really dangerous area, it seems to me, which often is the goal of people in this sort of industry, I think, to get into this sort of super fame, fast lane, you know, big car, fancy, shiny people all around. But I think that's a really for me, that's a really frightening place to go. And I think I work
because it would
hard
go,
to keep away from that.
Yeah, because you were worried that it would do damage to what it is that allows you to create.
Yeah, the false comforts, false.
A lot of people,
friends.
I mean, it's amazing how many people fall victim to that idea. I mean, it's not so much there's something evil about going out, buying all that stuff, doing all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
there's
nothing wrong with wealth.
It's not a felony, exactly.
No, there's not.
But what it might do is get in the way of what it is that brought you there and what it is that you can do, which is somehow to find some degree of truth.
If it's a search, whatever that is. I mean, if I want to know my neighbors.
Yeah.
Rather than try and keep them off my land. You know? That's kind of the way, you know, I just want, want to get up in the morning, no matter how stupid it seems, I feel, and even if it takes extra effort to remain in that sort of somewhat normal world, I feel like that I can learn a lot more there than I can from a world covered in diamonds.
Yeah. This thing has its own life, all the things that you're doing. Is there passion to do anything particular? Is there passion to whatever the musical equivalent is of writing the great American novel or writing the great making the great American movie or any of that? What is it? What's the the Nobel Prize here?
Yeah, I always think, I always think of other things that I should do, So I've just finished it and I think, whoa, I can't wait to do the next band record. And I'm telling myself, and now I'm going to tell everyone, that I feel as if the next band record should be the best one we've ever made.
Well, it should.
Yeah, exactly. We should only get better. And so I'm really sort of chewing at the bit to get in the studio.
Do you run scared about that at all?
No, my only fear is that I don't have enough perseverance to get the best out of myself in it, So that's
perseverance.
So come on, I've got to get, really grab hold of the idea that this should be the absolute most modern, most ancient, most powerful, most subtle, most humble, most aggressive record we've ever made. And so that's so my head is maybe a couple steps forward. And I also tell myself I need to make an album where it's, just me and a guitar sometimes. Tell myself that. And all that while, if things come up and say, would you do this or could you do this, I really have to practice saying no, because I have those sort of bigger plans, and then things that come up and steal my attention away, and I'm very happy to do this.
You mean,
like Because of Winn-Dixie. And then my greatest achievement.
Suppose this thing, somebody comes to you and says, man,
you stink.
No, say the worst. No, say exactly the opposite. Say, you don't know how good you are. You could do this. I mean, you have a gift for this acting thing.
Well, I don't know if I could ever walk away from playing music, and maybe I could find, but I just don't have the education or the knowledge to imagine that in acting I could find the same satisfaction that I have in playing music, which is something that comes from very far inside myself, however.
I met Bob Dylan the other night. There's something just wonderful about him, beyond the fact that he's an American icon. Mm-hmm. The fact that he continues to love to perform and to play and to write, and he's been through all the stuff that he's been through. Yeah. Don't you?
It's astounding that he has contributed so much and then continues. He sort of, he inspires a sort of wonder in me the same way that